and it looked absolutely broken for some reason.
Yeah,
so
it certainly did.
Quite open-ended in what you want to do for FBZ, but yeah, when it comes to draft, easier to execute for PSG.LGD to keep looking for these kills for sure.
All right, well, thank you for that, Jonathan. We do have game one now officially underway between PSG.LGD and Team Secret. Both sides almost running into each other there and breaking their smokes, but LGD gets away with not breaking theirs quite yet. Wards being placed down here throughout the mid lane. And it seems like either side will probably just try and avoid each other here, as you already see the side of Secret hanging around the bottom side of the lane, just securing those bounties, and LGD will do the exact same up top, it seems. I think this is teams from China in particular, I've noticed, tend to try and avoid the level 1 team fights completely. They'd rather just go for the even trade on bounties. That's fair. Just the chaos that ensues at level 1 can be a little bit problematic, though. As I say that, Jonathan, LGD are slowly moving their way up towards the bottom side, so LGD not happy with what I've had to say. Is while you smile, gonna run into Yamich. Yamich more than happy to just zone him out here, and it's like LGD will just kind of let that one go. Should be a 2-for-2 trade in terms of bounties. We get into a rather even start here between these two. Seems like Yamich already going to run right back into Why You Smile. Just making sure there's no kind of body blocking happening with the pool, rather with the creep camp. The Shiro. They're also going to see the Muerta for a moment here down at the bot lane, but seems like Puppy and Yamich is going to go towards the twin gates for now. Head up towards the top lane, but Yamich, he's going to stick around. It's just Puppy doing so. It's like Why You Smile was trying to get there to maybe cancel it off with the battery assault, but nevertheless, while we're at bot lane, we may as well start here. Of course, you're going to have FBZ and Yamich against Why You Smile and Shiro. Jonathan, again, this is my first time getting to see a Muerta in a pro game. What are you thinking about this laning stage?
That's some pretty funky power spikes to Muerta. I think with a clockwork up front, it's almost like the good old Lina time where it's a ranged core. With a clockwork up front, you can get some free damage in if you play aggressive. The clockwork, still a decent hero. You know, it's gotten a few tweaks, especially with the power cogs having a magic barrier. You can afford it to go a little bit more forward. But the big thing with Muerta is, its power spikes are a little bit weird. Like, this here is one that I've seen multiple times, and I still, quite frankly, don't understand too well. I was having conversations with other people that are like, yeah, it's funky, because Maelstrom timing's big, and then it feels like its power drops off for a little bit, then it just hyperscales into the mid to late game, off out of nowhere once it gets its stats up and a few more items under its belt. Like, the spell immunity or debuff immunity doesn't even stop it, so it's always relevant. The laning phase maybe a little bit rougher, but not too rough.
Shiro.
Okay.
He got completely body blocked up here by Yamich. The illusions just holding him in place with the creep wave. And poor old Shiro, he just could not leave. That's a classic Dota All-Stars block right there.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. I don't think the Muerta should get shut down too badly. Just kind of play as far as you can and let the clockwork cop up front, but Shiro steps out a little bit too far, gets punished. Again, you have to respect the block, you have to respect the magical output on this lane, as FBZ and Yamich can definitely hammer in on these two heroes quite nice. It's really down to Y to get the zoning here.
Let's have a look at the other lanes while we have a chance as well, of course. You're going to have... Well, they are chasing FBZ a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. Mid lane, Armelin, nothing to say going at it here. As the Snapfire versus Wind Ranger matchup, so far, at least in terms of CS, is favoring Nothing to Say. Snapfire, not finding any struggles here against Armel's Wind Ranger whatsoever. Though it has been a bit of an even kind of laning stage for these two. It doesn't seem like either one's really coming out with a clear lead. In terms of harass potential, you know, it's been there, but neither side's gotten anywhere near killing each other yet.
Yeah, it's just a little bit easier and more consistent for Nothing to Say to clear out the creep wave. I love that he's posturing aggressively to get the Cookie and Scatterblast combination, because that really just doesn't care for the Wind Run. Armel just has no counterplay when that does kick in. Level 6 timing's going to be big. If Nothing to Say ekes out a faster 6, and gets a rotation out from his supports, even just a clockwork running up with cogs, it's going to be relatively easy to find a kill onto the Wind Ranger. Again, that's the one strong point for LGD's draft. A lot of early activities from a lot of heroes with really strong synergies all across the board once the EXP is up and running.
Crystallis, he's getting very low top lane. Planet's just chasing him down. The Skywrath Mage needs one more Arcane Bolt to get the kill, but just waiting for the cooldown. Crystallis should be dead and will go down. They will secure that as bottom lane. Another fight breaking out at the moment. It's like Yamich has been caught here on the Shadow Demon, so he's gone. FBZ going to be chased for a little bit, but he should be just fine. Seems like they'll be more than happy with just securing Yamich. 2 kills across the board here for PSG.LGD. Most importantly, Jonathan, finding the Monkey King up at top lane is going to be a pretty big one.
Yeah, nice set of kills to find, slowing down Crystallis. His build-up's going to be a little bit more awkward. The Pugna lane with Monkey King just isn't really a directly synergistic lane. You're a magic damage support that amps up magic damage, prevents physical. With a core that's all fizz. You don't really have a setup for the stun. So you're kind of just trying to Nether Blast away, but you're outranged by the Skyrath Mage. It's pretty awkward for Puppey to try to have presence. It's just difficult for Crystallis to try to build up Jingu here as well, with the axe build up that we are seeing from Neo. So just gonna be a little bit tougher. The Monkey King, I mean, it can still go for a faster build as they are collapsing bot here.
Yeah, they're going to try and go on Shiro again, but Shiro's looking to try and turn. That sort of cogs there by Why You Smile, just holding down the Pangolier for now. FBZ still going to be just fine to back off as they also have Puppey there, but now Puppey's going to find himself in danger. At least Shiro does drop, so it's already well worth it. As Why You Smile getting quite low himself. FBZ, though, unable to really get the shield crash damage off in time thanks to the Cogs pushback. So they do end up finding a pretty big pick-off here onto the Muerta. Puppey does still TP out with his life intact, so happy days for him. And I'll tell you what, John, Shiro is not having a good start to this game. Already 0-2-1. This is not the start you wanted to see for the position 1 of LGD.
And he's not getting as much CS as you want coming out here. Love the aggression coming out from Secret. They've been able to really leverage the tankiness of FBZ quite well. Like with the Vanguard up, you really don't care too much about the poke damage coming out from Shiro with his range. So you can confidently run up and force an issue very early on. This does rectify itself once you do get your level 6 on Shiro, but again, the power spikes of the Muerta just kind of awkward. Like early Pierce the Veil feels good, but not amazing. It drops off in output very fast. It needs a lot of levels to really get maximized. Like you really feel the damage once you're 18. But like the level 12 spike into 7 seconds, nah, not particularly amazing. You know, like the item timings are also just strange. So I'm keen to see how well Shiro can kind of hit those early item timings. Say the Maelstrom is really the big one. Maelstrom maybe Daedalus down the line. It's what we tend to see with like a Moon Shard. And if you can actually farm to that point, you know, you transition into the jungle pretty well with the Gunslinger. It's not too bad to play catch up here.
Already in Triangle, they have caught out the Skyrath Mage, though with the Snapfire Kisses from Nothing to Say, they do secure Yamich instead. Planet surviving is Nothing to Say, just coming from a mile away. Meanwhile, bottom lane, an attempt on FBZ once again is not really going to work out. BZ successfully gets himself out of it. So another nice pickup for LGD. Not only protecting Planet, but taking down Yamich. Kind of one of the strengths about the Snapfire is, you know, if she's within a couple thousand range, you can't just assume you've got the kill, because she can get involved very easily with the Mortimer's Kisses, and we just saw that happen right there.
Just doesn't take too much. Once you have the levels up, you can connect with pretty much every hero. You can connect with Kisses Roar, you can connect with Ancient Seal Kisses, Cogs Kisses. Like, so much play potential for PSG.LGD across the board. So you have to respect that when you kind of commit like this on the side of Secret. A 3-2 start, rather even across the board, a little bit better in terms of CS coming out through Secret, but the kills suddenly starting to ramp up here for the side of PSG.LGD by just a smidge. They're coming out with a better time. Overall, it's starting gold here as well. The Dominator not too far off from Neo.
They're looking at Crystallis here at the top lane for a moment. They've got the Roar available. Even Nothing to Say now showing up, but he doesn't have the Kisses up. There's a lot of damage going to be lacking without the Kisses available. As Crystallis just going to jump through the tree line, trying to get away from this gank attempt from PSG.LGD. It's like Puppey's the one that gets caught out here in the Pugna. Does at least allow his Monkey King to just go through the twin gates and get towards the bottom lane instead. But it seems like LGD, they are more than ready now to just push in that bottom, rather the top tier 1 tower. Seems like Secret will have to do pretty much the exact same thing down a bot lane, but it's going to be a lot slower of a process as Why You Smile now has gone through the twin gates himself. Crystallis has caught him out, but he's just going to go through the twin gates. Not really too big of a deal. They just had no way to cancel. So back to the bottom. Oh, Puppey. Puppey just TP'd right into the tier 1. He's just dead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good vision, good wards being dropped earlier on by PSG.LGD, scouting the backside. And they get the punishment. Kind of awkward for him to TP in by himself, not really having any backup, maybe just wanting to sit back, clear out the wave with Nether Blast. Does get punished for it. And they will lose their top tier 1 with New getting the full push and having the Dominator fly out now. They are going to be able to trade for bot, so they even out map control, but look at this. PSG.LGD collapsing onto the mid. Again, not quite level 6 in all of the sports just yet, but they're reaching that point soon.
Oh, mid lane damage. Can't really do much about this. The kiss is going to get done once again from nothing to say. LGD could think about going for the mid tier 1. Looks like a Shiro is going to stick around for a little bit and just try and get some damage off there. LGD so far in control of this map number 1, 2k advantage going their way, and they are certainly getting much more aggressive across the map. Team Secret not in the worst position, but their highest net worth hero right now is the Pangolier by FBZ. Your mid Wind Ranger and your position 1 Monkey King have not had the greatest of times. And I think considering how much farm you've gotten on your Beastmaster here for LGD, the amount of pressure you can apply is just so much higher. Especially considering he's going to be approaching the Helm of the Overlord timing soon. That's going to be a rather scary timing here for Secret, as they are currently just trying to chase down Why You Smile. Instead, they do try and go after Nothing to Save, but he's just fine to walk out. No problems here for him. And Secret instead going to try pressuring the mid-tier 1 tower. Maybe try to get the fight that they wanted. And LGD, they are not responding to this. They're allowing it to go down for free for now.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
they're
attack.
getting pressured a little bit. I don't think you mind too much when you can apply pressure up top. Maybe try to go for a little bit of a poke onto the tier 2, which feels like a bigger take. You can cut off jungle access a lot more. You can utilize the vision game from PSG.LGD, which is much higher than the side of Secret. And you've got Rocket Flare, you've got Hawks. It's pretty hard for the side of Secret to try sneak around and sneak some farm when their towers are down. Still, they'll try for a smoke play out here.
Radiant are scanning.
Good scan to break that smoke.
Dire's top tower is
It
under
certainly
attack.
is.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Rotations up towards the north here. Team Secret. They're going to find Why You Smile. The Clockwork in a bit of danger. Life Drain, though, keeping up FBZ because he was falling quite low himself. The Mystic Flare damage is why. Going to be left alone here. Is going to go down. So it'll pick up here onto Why You Smile by Mel with the power shot. And, sadly for LGD, I mean, they got pretty close to the Pangolier going down. The strength of the Pugna right now, though, if Puppey can just be left alone in the back of a team fight, chances are you aren't killing who you wanted.
Yeah. You need to commit a lot more. They don't really commit too much to try and find that kill. The roar is still available. Only really tossing out the support spells. So, getting punished a little bit for being conservative there. Still, you don't mind too much on the side of PSG.LGD. It's a lot of space coming out for Shiro. Javelin already up. Maelstrom not too far off. Once you've got that Maelstrom up, that's when the Muerta starts to kick into overdrive. And Gunslinger levels are going up, so the farming pace for Shiro should pick up. And should start to close that gap between him and FBZ and start to catch up with his other cores here. They will smoke up with Y and Nothing to Say. Hisses and Hookshot ready to go.
Still a very strong combination. They'll go through the twin gates, head towards the north of the map. Team Secret are very well grouped up right now in the mid lane. They do have the option of going after FBZ, but he's not the easiest target to go after here in the Pango. They're having a look rather at rather for the Monkey King here, but Chrysalis is nowhere to be seen. In fact, now Ping's coming out. Team Secret, they want to head up north and see if they can secure this Clockwork kill. And Why You Smile, just going to farm the camp while he's there, but is sadly going to be spotted here by Puppey, who's looking to go in for a Decrepify. Why You Smile. He's going to try and buy as much time as he possibly can, but ultimately is going to be surrounded here by Team Secret. Eventually, we'll get shackled into a power shot, and FBZ will take the kill now on the Pango. I mean, that is just the Clockwork, however, right? And Team Secret, they are committing 4 heroes for this.
Dire are
I
scanning.
think LGD are more than happy to just farm across the map and keep that net worth increasing on their end of things. And again, they are still well and truly ahead. And John, keep in mind, like Shiro, he had a pretty bad laning stage. He's still 0-2-2. So all this time he's had to try and catch up in the farm department has allowed him to get past Chrysalis now on the Monkey King. So suddenly this bad laning stage you had for Shiro, it's not really such a bad lane anymore.
It's one thing when you leave the Muerta alone. It hyper farms really fast, just off the back of Gunslinger, and some pretty good base damage coming out. Smoke out from the side of PSG.LGD. See if it lines into anything. Again, everything ready to go here.
Secret need to be very careful, but obviously they don't know the smoke was there. Is FBZ going to get caught? Hookshot is there, catching out Yamich, but the disruption life drain, keeping him alive as they get a little bit greedy, trying to secure something. Yamich actually surviving for now. He's gonna make it out. Yamich is there, he is alive, as Why You Smile is now the one being chased down. In fact, never mind that, they want the Skywrath as well. Planet not gonna be able to make it out. FBZ on a killing spree. Nobody dying on Team Secret, and 2 going down for the side of PSG.LGD. Not a good team fight at all if you are LGD on the Radiant end of things. And John, it's just, they split their attention between FBZ and Yamich, and neither one ended up going down.
That just really awkward. Like, they Ancient Seal onto FBZ, but they commit all their spells onto Yamich. They don't find either kill, and they just get punished. They have to be pretty on point with a single target control. I mean, even if you commit everything onto Yamich, like including the Ancient Seal, I think it's perfectly fine, because you probably can just run away from FBZ afterwards without the Shadow Demon to set up. And PSG.LGD just trying to get really greedy with splitting that fight up. In Secret, well, they're more than happy to take it. They're building up. Again, now Armel starting to overtake. Really even farm distribution across all their cores off the back of these fights, despite a little bit of a stronger start coming out for LGD on New and on Nothing to Say. Now kind of neutralized. A very even game. Still, the push does begin. Full Overlord up on New, and they can just shove in the mid wave quite fast.
But they are. The Boom, or rather Secret, excuse me, are sticking around. Trying to take down that Helm of the Overlord creep. The Ancient Ice Shaman, though, still doing some great work, and they do find the tier 1 tower in the end with the Siege creep.
Middle tower has fallen.
So nice pick off there for PSG.LGD. Losing nobody in the process as well, which is the important part, I think. Secret just buying their cores a bit more time as well to get that farm going. I must admit, though, Chrysalis is pretty far behind when it comes to the net worth department right now. Like, he's got an Echo Saber working in towards the BKB, but the net worth certainly not stacking up very well in his favor. Kind of hard, though, because he didn't go for anything like a Battle Fury build-up, so you don't have that farming escalation tool, as it looks like Team Secret are going to try and force a fight. Why You Smile hooking right onto Armel, but the Mystic Flare not going to do enough through the disruption. FBZ, meanwhile, he gets roared up through the Rolling Thunder, but he's perfectly fine for now. Will swashbuckle away. Team Secret, they might reinitiate. A huge Wukong's Boundless up from Chrysalis. Has found 3 targets. And Shiro, he is trying his best to capitalize, but it's not really working out in their favor. LGD losing 2 for the price of 1. FBZ the only one to go down here for Team Secret. And they are chasing for more now. Planet very, very low, should drop to the Monkey King. In fact, never mind that, they are trying for New. But New will be able to get out of range. So Team Secret not able to capitalize any more than they had, but it's still a great team fight for them.
I'm a little bit surprised PSG.LGD aren't getting the information out. Again, they've got Rocket Flare, they've got Hawks, but it's Secret's vision with his ward right above that large camp up top that gives them access into that fight. And they see the backline, they see why, they know what he's going to try to do with a hookshot, preempt him and just isolate him and force some spell usage on top when they've got the save with the disruption. So the combination falls flat from the side of PSG.LGD. You are seeing a little bit of the power of the Muerta in these fights though. Like when Shiro comes in and manages to use the Pierce the Veil, the damage is pretty damn good. And the invulnerability period of not being able to be right-clicked is pretty sweet, but you're not at the point where the DPS of that Muerta is insanely high yet. That's going to be the Moonshard timing, along with probably like a Mjolnir on top of that, along with your Daedalus, and then the Muerta starts to feel pretty ridiculous. But again, it's a more late-game timing. Inside of Secret, playing tempo well. I mean, you were talking about Chrysalis' farm being a little bit flat, and you are right. It's down to the fact that he's not, you know, going for the battlefield, going for the long game, but he's also trying to play a faster game with his team. Like disassembly on the Echo Saber into the BKB, he just wants to keep fighting every single time this Wukong's is up, and it's a great read from Secret. They can take these fights if PSG.LGD can't find one target to just focus in on.
Here we go again. Why You Smile going to be spotted here by Chrysalis. Does get the cogs off in time at least. The Purge is going to be there from Yamich, so very, very slow as the clockwork, and we'll just accept the fact that he is going to die. Meanwhile, Puppey has also found Planet, will slow him up with the Decrepify. Planet is trying to run out of range, but the chase is still continuing here from Chrysalis and FBZ as the Mystic Flare does get dropped, but he is certainly just down. No way of surviving the onslaught from Team Secret. LGD not really responding to this at all. Seeing their support duo dropping again, they'll just take the farm they have, or rather take the time they have to keep farming. The Team Secret more than happy to continue just being as aggressive as possible. It's now 7 to 10, 19 minutes in. Slightly higher than, or rather slightly less than a 1k net worth lead on Team Secret's things, and LGD again not having the best start in the world, but still looking to just hit some timings on their calls.
Yeah, I think for the side of LGD, they realize at this point their early power spike fades away a little bit. And again, it's down to these funky power timings for something like the Muerta. Do you see Shiro pick up the Mjolnir instead of the full Moonshard? So wanting a little bit of a faster build-up himself into the BKB. But some of these early BKB pickups from Secret just means that you don't have the burst play anymore to kind of lock in a hero. Even just this Glimmer Cape out on Puppey, more than enough to kind of save a couple of people in the middle of these fights. So I think PSG.LGD have a good read. Send your supports out, get some information, have them cop all the attention from Secret when they are clumping up and trying to find kills, and just keep farming up on these other cores. Because your Muerta will bounce back in. Your Snapfire has some insane spikes when you hit your level 20, of course, along with the fact that she's universal, so the stat padding is going to pay off massively for Nothing Say. But you are playing for a longer game now on PSG.LGD, whereas, you know, maybe like 5 to 7 minutes ago, you were looking to be a lot more aggressive, but they just didn't find the openings. And they weren't able to utilize the vision game as much. They were getting greedy with how they were looking for these pickoffs, and Secret's punishment is on point.
And Secret have been fantastic this game one. It's still a very even game, though, to be fair, between these two. Even the win probability right now is sitting at 52% LGD's way, so LGD actually slightly favored here in this matchup, but just by 2%. Roshan's going to get started, and if Secret can get away with this, it's going to be a lot less than 52% for LGD, that's for sure. So they are going to rotate into the outposts here in the Radiant jungle and try to make sure they're around to contest this Roshan. LGD, knowing that Secret are coming towards them with the smoke, do look to back their way out of here. Say he does just pick up a Gleipnir for himself, so big core item here for the mid-snap virus. Planet going to be spotted. Another great boundless. Chrysalis, he found 2 targets. Planet's going to be the one to get focused down. Oh, why? No, he hook shots in. I'm not really sure why, but he's going. He's down. Just felt charitable here to Team Secret.
Just, again, buying space, maybe feeling like they could have kept that chase going to grab Mew. Still, two supports again being picked off by Secret. Another big opening for them. They're starting to ramp up in their own network. Again, not much of a lead. These support kills aren't leading to too much. This could bite Secret later on down the line when these streaks do get broken, if they get broken by the side of LGD. Still, Roche does begin, the Hawk does expire, but they should be aware the Roshan is being taken here from Secret. It's just that they can't do much. I think the side of PSG.LGD, again, understanding that Secret has the advantage right now with these early BKBs, with their early damage output on these heroes, the durability that FBZ is providing just with the Guardian Greaves on top and the saves on their supports. They don't quite have enough to go for the first place, and we'll have to just concede some objectives. But the question now is, when does PSG.LGD start to feel confident? Because, again, you're ramping up in your Muerta. BKB only one part away, the recipe only lacking for Shiro. You've already got the BKB up and running for New, opting to go for the full AC for some protection now. And for Nothing Say, it's all in on that physical snap. Going for the BKB into a full Daedalus, but he needs the EXP. All of this requires kills, like the gold and EXP in particular. You need to find kills to really ramp up on that. If they keep playing passive like this for LGD, their power spikes are just going to be extra late, and Secret they're going to take a lot off the map to punish you for playing that slow.
Well, I think at the very least, when Shiro does have his BKB up, that's when things may change here for LGD. Because with the BKB, he should be willing to get more active with his team. For now, though, for LGD, they're just going to wait that out. Try not to rush the game too much. Just stick to their own game plan. So you do have some very nice scaling in the Snapfire later on. Like, you know, obviously nothing to say is going to have the level 20 and 25 talent if you do get to that stage. Daedalus has already been queued up on nothing to say, so he's prepping to get to those big levels later on if they do need it. You know, with all things being said and done, LGD is still holding a 2k advantage, and Dota Plus is still giving them a 60% win chance, even with the Aegis up on Chrysalis. Gaben says no. 60% for LGD.
I kind of get it. I think these pickoffs, and as bad as they look for LGD, again, constantly onto supports, your cores are farming pretty efficiently across the map. You're able to dodge out a lot of these ganks with, with some good usage of your Hawks, with good wards being placed. They spot out the smoke as well coming out from Secret, I'm pretty sure. So they shouldn't be under any threat of the rotations coming in. They're staying clumped up as a team. And Secret opting to gate down south. Like, they don't have forward vision on Secret. So even if they're the ones playing aggressive, they just don't have the information to actually land these big kills. LGD, are they going to sneak around through the gate as well?
Oh, this could be big. They could try. Smoke is out from Team Secret, but they've got such a long way to run. The smoke will eventually wear off. LGD just holding their own position at this top lane. Also smoked up as 3. Seems like Secret are not going to make their way over quite yet. They'll hold out for now, but LGD, now with the BKB available on Shiro, have started to make their move. The T2 top tower is going to be the focus of LGD. Well, Team Secret, realizing they probably should deal with the bottom T2 tower, will get to work there. But LGD, they're going to have plenty of time now to go for the T3s. Secret, they're focused mid lane onto Nothing to Say, but Nothing to Say is playing very defensively with his positioning. Yamich, oh, he's going to spot him in the end, but he doesn't have the vision anymore. Nothing to Say with the Glape, you're going to hold him down. And Secret, they are still not around to defend that top tier 3 tower. FBZ eventually going to TP back to try and stop this from being pushed in. And now LGD, knowing they're split up, they'd love to force a fight. But Secret, they have backed off.
Just a little poke and prod. Really good movement across from LGD. Getting good read. Good bait play from Nothing to Say. Take some attention away. Again, Secret with his Aegis. Doesn't feel like they're finding too much just yet. A minute and a half left. Nothing to Say. Has to be a bit careful here. But, yeah, I mean, you've cut through a lot of time in the Aegis. Hold on.
It's going to land.
The invis, though.
Detection. Where's the detection? There's the sentry ward being placed. Nothing to Say is gone. Bit of a delay with it, but they get it done in the end. Big pick off here for Team Secret. The bottom tier 2 tower is going to go down, though LGD are also, again, split pushing the top tier 3. But Puppey is going to be there to slow this down as best as humanly possible. Still, I mean, New and Planet have just been sitting here at the top lane for such a long time, just going completely unpunished. It's mid lane. YU Smile trying to retreat, does actually get away with the jetpack plus TP. Rolling Thunder going to be expended for absolutely nothing here for FBZ. Team Secret slowly starting to move their way up towards the north of the map to try and deal with this lane being consistently pushed in. I'm not sure if they truly believe that New and Planet are still there, though, because they're only sending some creeps in here through the Beastmaster. And with these rocket flares that have been consistently coming out here from Y, they know exactly where Secret are at the moment, so it seems like they are going to retreat at the right time. LGD, they'll group up together as 4 once again. Just playing a very good game of evasion here with Team Secret. It does seem to favor them according to Dota Plus. Here we go, 4-man smoke is there. Nothing to Say is not around to join them. They're going to see Puppey in the mid lane for now. There's Nothing to Say will TP into the mid tier 2 tower. And now a counter smoke from Team Secret. They're wrapping around opposite ways. Nothing to Say could get spotted here by Secret, but he's going to rush towards his team. Who makes the first jump in? Puppey, he's going to TP away from his team now. Goes for the Wisdom Rune at the top side of the map, rather bottom. YU Smile going to avoid the Shackle Shot to come in. Instead it'll be the Helm of the Overlord creep going down here thanks to Armel. And LGD, they'll kind of accept what's just happened. Take the Dire Triangle instead. Secret, though, looking to try and infiltrate. Shiro, he's waiting on the high ground. FBZ going to be targeted immediately, though Disruption is going to buy a little bit of time. He will be able to blink out. Now with Boundless Strike, catching out, nothing to say. Clipney going to lock him down as well. They're still holding the high ground, but Chrysalis is just running right in. He's just manning up here, but can he make it out? It's just so much damage on the MK. He's still running, though. He's going to be able to make it for now, as now New is in trouble. In fact, even Shiro going down to Armel's focus fire. He is gone. New is gone to boot. Armel with a double kill on the Wind Ranger, even finding Why You Smile for a triple kill. And Yamage, he will get the tips handed over. Perfect initiation here from Team Secret. Literally just brute forcing their way to the high ground. And somehow nobody dies.
Just a little bit of a misplay from PSG.LGD. They dropped the early calling to try to get the silence off onto FBZ. The save is there from the disruption. The travels play from Nothing to Say right up front. That's not the position he wants to be in to try to take that fight. You can take a look again. Like he boots of travels right in front of Team Secret, meaning that they can't get a good shot for just getting the kisses off in the back. Shiro pops his ultimate to pierce the veil. It's on, but his damage output isn't ridiculous yet. No crit on hand, just a lot of attack speed out with Mjolnir. He drops a few of them low, but not low enough. You needed more follow-through damage there. And again, just in such an enclosed area, so close, way too close together, you can't maximize this range that PSG.LGD want to play with. You can't play with the kisses. You don't have the talent spikes yet for Nothing to Say. It all collapses. And just off of the back of the saves from Yamich and the positioning of Nothing to Say. I mean, I get that he didn't have that many travels targets, but he just goes right in front of him.
He certainly did. 6k advantage now for Team Secret, and suddenly Gaben has changed his mind. Win probability now about 69% the way of Team Secret. Nice number there for the win probability here for Secret, and for LGD, a pretty big team fight to lose. Not what you wanted to see if you are an LGD fan. Secret now slowly thinking about pushing in the bot lane. Perhaps trying to force a bit of a rotation of defense here from LGD, but also prepping for the next Roshan, which is up in about 34 seconds. It's going to be a big deal for LGD to try and not allow Team Secret that free Roshan for themselves. Then again, though, I'm not sure if you can even afford to fight right now, considering what happened in that last team fight. Never a good sign when Chrysalis can literally just brute force his way to the high ground and do what he did in that fight, that last engagement. It's now officially 10 seconds away from the next Roshan respawning. TP's into the mid lane, though. New and Planet looking to back their way out. Chrysalis on the chase with the tree jump, but not going to be able to find anyone. And now Roshan officially available, so Puppey is going to scout this out. And Team Secret should have first dibs on this, but LGD, you can already see their game plan. They've drawn a line through the top lane. They intend on completely just keeping this top lane pushed in and trying to force a defense. As Team Secret, they are going to quickly try to rush this Roshan, see if they can just finish this off pretty quickly. And with the focus fire on Armel, it seems to be a pretty darn quick process. I don't think the top lane's going to bother them that much. They'll be there to defend at any moment.
Yeah. The real quick Roche. Defense is going to kick in as well. Not quite enough damage flying through to fully take care of the tier 3. And just going to have to try and poke and prod here on the side of PSG.LGD. They're stalling for time. You need these level spikes.
It's Jetpack. He's actually ended up in a pretty awkward position here. The Clockwork behind the racks is just going to go down to Armel. Meanwhile, New trying to get his way out. Will BKB TP away. Looks like he is going to make it too. So you only really lose the Clockwork. Not the biggest deal in the world here for PSG.LGD. I think the much bigger deal, though, is the fact that they did lose that second Roshan, and now there is an Aegis Cheese available on Team Secret. That does mean you kind of expect Secret to try and go for an attempt on the high ground here of the Radiant base. LGD, they just have not had much luck in terms of taking a good fight this game one so far.
It's just... Again, coordination's just not quite there, especially when they had this early advantage. They played a lot greedier with pickoffs, forces them to play a lot more passive into the mid-game, trying to play this catch-up. At least they have some utility coming out. You've got Wise, Ags up, so the flares should come out and break off any aggression. Get some constant vision out, again, along with the Hawks that you do have on hand. You are inching towards Shiro's MKB, which is going to be a big timing for that Muerta. Even more attack speed to maximize that pierced veil. You're not going to care for Armel and his evasion chance no longer. And it does allow a lot more presence out for Shiro once that is up. The risk is he's going to have to buy it without buyback. Nothing to say?
Nothing to say. Yeah, he's caught out. This is a huge pick-off. FBZ. Spidey senses were tingling here from the Pangoliers. Nothing to say. He's going to try for the TP, and he's not going to make it. Oh boy.
Has been killed.
That's not what you wanted as LGD. That is a massive pick here for Secret. FBZ knew he was around there somewhere, and we'll find him.
And just a little bit awkward, trying to farm out on the side of PSG.LGD. Oh, you don't manage to catch Yamich either. Hook shot falls a little bit short from Y. But the side of Secret, I mean, they're in a solid lead now. All they need is to suppress PSG.LGD from hitting some levels.
They're jumping on New. New's going to just BKB TP away. Also committed the Raw to make sure he could get away from this scenario. The desperate times call for desperate measures, John. I mean, Chrysalis does have a basher up, so he had no choice but to do that to get away from that situation.
Yeah, just minimize your losses as much as possible. MKB up for Shiro. Whether or not this is enough, though, is another question.
It's just so hard, though. Like, in this next engagement, if you can't kill off Puppy, this level 2 life drain, the amount of heal he's providing to Chrysalis throughout these engagements is just ridiculous, and it's just one of those things. This Pugna just has to die if you want to actually kill anyone else.
Ooh, this is big. Wisdom Rune gives level 20 for nothing to say.
Okay.
So his talent is up. More output now, connecting with the Snapfire and the Muerta. Now it's just down to positional play. The big awkward issue for PSG.LGD is, despite all this vision, they're not able to jump the backline. Like, Y has to reach into really Yamich or Puppy. I think Yamich has to take priority first. Disruption's a much bigger issue. And then take care of Puppy. And then the team fight can open up. It's just that it doesn't feel like you can get your burst damage quick enough to take these two supports out without taking any losses yourself. Good bait out from the positioning of Y. Sending the rockets from the upper left. Dragging attention away. Again, stalling for time. PSG.LGD, despite being 8k behind, if you look at the cores, they're not too far behind individually. Like, Armel only has a 2k lead over Shiro, not unplayable at 36 minutes in. All the other cores are kind of within 1k gold of each other. So even though it says 9k for Secret, again, it's not the worst position for PSG.LGD. Certainly not comfy, but still within the realms of playable.
Well, through the twin gates they go. Team Secret heading up towards the north of the map, though. There is a big smoke from LGD. Oh, Armel, he's a huge target. New, though. He has the smoke broken and he doesn't react to it. I don't believe they had the vision. Planet is going to get shackled here by Armel, and he's just going to drop. No reaction here from LGD, just not expecting Armel to be casually standing in the jungle, doing absolutely nothing, but that's exactly what happened. Team Secret, I mean, now with one down, even if it is just a support, they might want to try for this top tier 2 tower. And Armel, he will pop the focus fire. In fact, never mind. Looks like he is going to back out, not opting to try and really force in the tier 2. Guess it's fair enough. Secret not ready for another fight, it seems. Aegis does just expire.
Really patient game from both sides. Secret not looking to overextend, not give any openings to PSG.LGD. PSG.LGD again having to play a lot more safe in this game. Just trying to play catch up, allowing this arms race to continue between both sides. FBZ, I mean, he's about to approach his Shiva's guard, which just makes it a lot harder for PSG.LGD to try to find a good position in the middle of these fights. And take away a little bit of the healing that can come true. If any at all. Like the spell lifesteal, I suppose, from Shiro down the line. If he does opt for, say, his shard down the line as well. I think for Secret, the game stays pretty stable as you scale into the late game. It's kind of interesting. I don't think you feel any more threatening as the game goes on. You get a lot more utility with the Ags up on Armel. You know, you become bigger and bigger in Chrysalis. I feel it's actually PSG.LGD that feels better as the game scales on. Especially if they manage to get nothing to say to recover. He's still lagging a little bit behind. Let's say our snap hits MKB timing. And again, position if he does find a good position in these fights, then Muerta plus Snap with little Shredder up. That is a lot of AoE damage. It's just the fact that LGD can't find any openings. And Secret's positioning has been on point, just scattered far enough that they can't focus on any single one without getting punished. Whoa.
Jump in mid lane. New caught out immediately. Nice shackles from Armel. YU Smiles trying to help out with a hook shot, but it's not going to do nothing. Armel with a double kill once again. Now 12-0-6 on the Wind Ranger.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's
Team
top
Secret
tower
now
is
with 2
under
down
attack.
can certainly look to realistically take this this mid lane of barracks. They will start to move in.
Top tower has
Nothing to
fallen.
say, going to pop the Gleipnir. FBZ pump faking with the Rolling Thunder is going to jump in for real this time. Shiro has been caught out, but instead they go for Planet first. An immediate buyback forced out from New. That's going to be enough from Team Secret. Very clean gameplay. You see the buyback, you forced it out, that's what you wanted. Just get the hell out of there. Make LGD completely wasted. Team Secret, they can come back at any other time. And they can just wait for the next Roshan. Perhaps it's going to be an early one.
No pressure here. 7-23, 15k lead up for Secret. A hit and run, a forced buyback. I have to say, this itemization on New, it doesn't feel like he's doing too much. I mean, it did help with the split push for sure. But the AC is still relatively fresh, so that wasn't even a factor in the high ground push and the top. If you had something like maybe an Ags, heck, maybe a Lotus, a Lincoln's to save someone, maybe you have a little bit more to play with. And the AC aura is good, but we're not really feeling the impact of Enting just yet. Smoke out from PSG.LGD. They've got to find someone, man. Even a support kill here would be big for LGD to drag this game back their way just a tad bit.
I think for now you're just kind of hoping for the level 25 or nothing to say to give yourself a really good chance. It seems like LGD will start prepping to get in position for the Roshan pit.
Dire are
2
scattered.
minutes till that Roshan does spawn up, so it was a relatively long timer. If they do scan out with the rocket flare, they might find Chrysalis in the tree line right now on the eastern side of the map. Secret have grouped up around the area down to the spot lane as well. They're only really lacking Puppy here, but he is making his way down to boot. LGD obviously not looking to force a fight right now. They just want to make sure that they're around if a Roshan fight does break out. And that they are. Thing is though, Team Secret now smoking up behind FBZ. Looking to get that fight going that they're looking for before Roshan does spawn. LGD cannot lose this fight. This would be way too much going the way of Team Secret. They've already got a 16k advantage to start with as FBZ pump faking the Rolling Thunder is going to force out the kisses from Nothing to Say. So that's already one spell going down here for LGD. For Nothing to Say, he does have a massive amount of ractic damage with the little shredder available with the level 20 talent, but the kisses not going to be here for this next team fight as they are going to jump in, but FBZ, he's got the Rolling Thunder out. YU Smile already caught. Meanwhile, Nothing to Say getting connected here with the stun of FBZ, and now the Shackle Armel. He's in to secure the kill. Nothing to Say cannot remain alive in this fight.
Shiro.
Oh, Shiro also caught out. Yamich right in time. They find FBZ in the end. Shiro's still going to try and keep the fight going, but everyone just kiting him out. Now the Shackle locking him down. Armel will hold him and Chrysalis secures the kill as GG is called. I don't blame them for calling it, John. You couldn't afford to lose the next Roshan like this. And this draft of PSG.LGD just did not pan out the way they had expected. Team Secret proving to be way too strong in game number 1 of this best of 2 series. I'll tell you what, John, it was a rather strong performance. I mean, at no stage of this game 1 did it feel like LGD were really in the way of making a comeback. I'll be frank with you.
Yeah, just didn't feel like it. I think for the side of PSG.LGD, again, the early game looked pretty sharp. The lanes went fairly well. They start to clump up for some early engagements, and then they get pretty greedy in going into these engagements. They split their control onto multiple heroes. It costs them a kill. They get punished for it. They're forced to play passively. And Secret just doesn't give them any opportunities. Despite all the vision that can come out from the Hawks, from the rocket flares, LGD doesn't manage to jump that back line. Team Secret just positioning themselves well. And there were a couple of moments there where LGD definitely just didn't take the fight in the proper way. That one mid gank with splitting up the Ancient Seal and the Kisses and Hookshot cogs was one. The triangle fight was another one. Like that triangle fight where they try to make a calling play onto FBZ, try to silence him up. Yamich comes in with a save, and nothing to say, TP's right in front of them. Like these mistakes just cost LGD a lot of opportunities to try to come back in, and I think for the side of LGD, they're gonna have to fix. It's so hard to fix this in between games, but it's really down to execution. It feels like they couldn't execute when they were strong, and they got severely punished for it. Team Secret just having a good read as to when to take these fights and when to back off.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see the scoreline of Armel in particular, Jonathan. What was it, 14-0 and something? He went here on the Wind Ranger, 14-0-8, which is one of the better Wind Ranger performances we've seen as of late through multiple regions. So, I mean, just really popping off. And can I just say as well, FBZ and Team Secret, he seems to be gelling quite nicely with the team from what we're seeing here today. I mean, mind you, LGD didn't put up the greatest fight here with this draft, but I must admit, I'm kind of impressed at how well things actually went for Secret here in this game one. Just a really well-oiled machine is what I'm seeing here with Team Secret at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is. They execute well. They gel together. They have the same ideas on the game. And they're very disciplined, right? Like, they find a kill, they back off. They don't overextend it. They don't give these openings out. And they just allow the side of LGD to get away with nothing. You know, they hit and run, and the patience pays off massively. Just no opportunities for LGD to kind of jump the backline, to find a support kill, and it just leads to a cascading effect where LGD is trying to find an opening, trying to pierce through, but the side of Secret doesn't allow them to.
No, they certainly did not. What do you want to see changed up for LGD? Like, at the very least in terms of draft, is there something in particular you think needs to be changed here going into game number 2? Or perhaps in terms of their gameplay, do you think something needs to be changed here going into it? Because, I mean, you'd want to try and obviously tie out the series 1-1 if you can before it is over.
Yeah, I think you need to fix up the execution here from PSG.LGD. Don't get greedy with these ganks. Don't split up control like that. I understand why they might have done it, just to prevent FBZ from trying to get a roll-up, but it still was way too greedy. The saves were there from Team Secret. I think maybe get a more aggressive here for nothing to say, like something that can initiate, because quite frankly, you were relying on Planet and Y to really do a lot of work and kind of finding an angle.